Corporal Randall again. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we came up with, is America still the land of opportunity? I would say yes. Why? Because I lived it. Grew up in the inner city in Baltimore, public school from K through 12, HBCU for college. So yes, it is the land of opportunity. But with anything, over time it needs to be reimagined and reborn. So today I wanted to talk about schools and the public school system and how it has started to be reimagined. But unfortunately, in reimagining the public schools, they have some that don't like the new option, i.e. charter schools. Well, gotta say, I'm kind of a proponent for it. The charter schools, that is. So, hold on. The fact that I prefer charter schools to regular public schools. Now, I know I'm gonna possibly seem like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I am a parent of a charter school student and she does pretty well. Where I live at, our schools are not bad, but not the best. Charter schools offer poor and disadvantaged children the benefit of being able to become better students than they would have at a traditional public school without all of the extra red tape. What red tape, you may ask? Well, as we know, anytime we're dealing with the government, it's going to be a one-size-fits-all model. And as a larger person, I can tell you that one-size-fits-all rarely fits me. And that's the problem with the government doing it. Their Board of Education decides what's going to be taught, how it's going to be taught, and if the method isn't working, well, it could be years before they found a new method that they want to go with or try. That means that the children that were going through the prior rendition are already years in advance of this, and now they're at a disadvantage. Love the flexibility of the charter school. If something's not working well, they can actually change it. If a teacher's not performing, they can let them go. It's the best of both worlds. And they do all of this while having less funding than traditional schools. Yes, charter schools are partially funded by the government, but they're funded on normally a fixed per pupil basis. So if your community is doing, let's say hypothetically, $10,000 a student, well, the charter school will probably only get about $7,000 or $8,000 for that same student. What about the results? Well, the schools that I've seen, and again, sorry, small sample size, but charter schools haven't been around that long, they actually have done better than the local schools. In fact, there's documentaries on it, how much better they do. Now, who doesn't like charter schools? Well, there's a large group of people that don't like them. We call them teachers' unions. Basically, teachers' unions have decided they're going to set up shop and they're going to work from the position of what's best for my union members. Gotta respect their hustle. However, when I think of school, I'm not thinking of what's best for the teacher. I'm more or less thinking what's best for the student. Now, if the teacher doesn't want to do X, Y, and Z, or the teacher is bad, well, we could always move them to a new school. I mean, hell, there's got to be a less performing school where the parents may not complain about this underperforming teacher. What I'm saying is you get more flexibility, less costs, and a better product. And why is that? Competition. That's an easy one. So, charter schools basically have to live up to their charter. So when the charter school is founded, they have to sit down and actually say, these are the parameters that we're looking at. This is what we want to, where our goals are. These are how we're going to be judged and measured to see if we attain our goals. And if we don't attain their goals, they can actually have their charter pulled. So since they're forced to be accountable, they generally do a better job. Not only that, because charter schools are in competition with the regular public schools and other charter schools, they have to go out of their way to be better. Now, just think of it this way. I don't know what kind of car you have, but let's assume you have something that's at least decent. Came out in the last 20 years. Got a car that came out in the last 20 years, it's probably pretty good. Well, imagine if the government was the only place making cars. And for the last 20 years, all you could buy was a government car. They didn't have any other competition. Do you think the cars would be better than the car you have now? The same. We all know they'd be worse. And how do we know they'll be worse? Name one government agency that when it was any competition introduced, it became better. I mean, the post office is damn near bankrupt. However, FedEx and UPS do great, provide similar services, but one has to be accountable. One has a group of people that, well, let's say, are dependent on their success. So when you have one side that gets a blank check that can always be filled in by tax money, well, you don't ever have to actually be good at something. That's how public schools have pretty much become. No need to be good at pumping out students who can, I don't know, do basic math. The public schools need to change. They need to improve. And I think charter schools may help them get to that point by forcing them to up their game. I'm for school choice because I don't want my child's zip code to dictate the quality of their education. I don't think anybody would want that. I mean, again, where I grew up was not one of the safest places in the world. The school system wasn't the strongest, hasn't gotten better. So if I had the opportunity, let's say hypothetically, I'm sitting there and I'm still in Baltimore and my school system is not doing particularly well. Where I live, I don't have the financial means to put my child in private school, and I hear about this new charter school. Why wouldn't I want my child to go there? A structured place where they're able to have the flexibility to teach my child in the method that's most efficient for them. Vice this build, step, repeat model that has gotten us so far. So, what do you think? Am I wrong? Well, leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And hopefully we can get some decent interaction. Corporal Randall out.